Yeah. So I'm going to be doing some work and just thought maybe I'd go live at least for a little bit of it. Um, yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see if anyone shows up. If they do, great. What we will do, since I'm going to be popping around a lot, is I'm just going to share my entire screen. I wish you could do like a mirror or something to where it wouldn't mirror the screen. Um, but we'll just have to suck it up. All right. And so here's what we're looking at. Basically here, that's not really what we're looking at. What we're looking at is that. And there we go. Now we're back to this. Now, I did get something from the client. He wanted me to try some other images. We'll try both of these. Let's see here. Can I download it? There we go. Download. And then this one the same. Let's put in the downloads folder. All right. Okay. Probably all we need off from Telegram is that. Here, let's move this over to here. I sure don't see 8. I'll just get rid of Telegram. I just needed it for those 2 items. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this one is what we'll do over here. There we go, better. Volumes, let's just go and find this. Let's see your development, Bsoft. Oh, nope, Beehive. Young Hustlers. That's what the client calls his organization, not organization, but the team he's running, the Young Hustlers organization. It's about connecting people in different places and things like that. Let's see if I can find there's where I put my textures. Okay, so. And now here. There we go. Okay, so. Just move them over to here. There we are. And we got no one. Huh. All right. We'll see if anyone shows up. If it may not be a good day because of being in the middle of the week, or early in the week. This is actually Monday for some people and Tuesday morning for others. So maybe this isn't a good day to do it, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, let's see what these look like if I just change the textures. Here's what we'll do. We'll change the names of these. I'd say Earth Dark 1 and Earth Dark 2. All right, let's try Earth Dark 1 and see what Earth Dark 1 looks like. So if we just do that and then say underscore dark underscore 1.jpg, like that. Give it a shot. Let's take a look here. If I remember, it's R. There we go. Not too sure about that. I'll do a screenshot of both of these for the client and see what he thinks. You can tell where the sun is pointing at it. It's right about here. I'm not so sure about that one. Let's do the second one and see what it looks like. Earth Dark 2. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, duh. No, yeah, we do have to do that. I don't know. In my opinion, that looks even worse. I'll do. Oh, that's not good. No matter what. Let's look at or Antarctica for that matter. And neither of them are very good. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. This one to me really kind of makes me go, I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm really not sure myself. No ideas from anyone? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know myself. That one to me is definitely no, but let's go ahead and at least do a screenshot. Oh, hang on. I might have to do something here. All right, let's see here. I don't know. I'm going to screenshot this for the guy. Let's put it about here. Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's what I did for my last one, didn't it? Okay, let's see here. Okay. So show in the Finder. Here are the rest of these. We can do this. Oh, it goes to desktop. Oh. like that. Let's see here. Let's push it into the bin. And then we'll go back and we'll switch this out. This one I think looked a little better. Oh, that one seems a bit better at least. See if I can see where the light is. Okay, there it is, right about there. Say that's about right. Boom. Yeah, not quite sure about either of these. I don't think either of them look really all that good. I think they look good as an image. I don't think they really look all that good. I'm going to kick them back to him here. I should have kept Telegram open. I think we stick with the one I found. Oh, yeah, here, I don't want to showcase that. Oh, that was my number. Okay, let's see here. Let me drag and drop both of these onto the screen. On the geometry. I can't spell right now. I know I'm not spelling that right. There we go. In my opinion, I think the original one looks better. That one is, I think it's a 10K image. It's really a high def image actually. It is a high. He wanted this all black thing, but he had an example from somewhere else that he wanted it to look like. This isn't an uncommon thing in doing work, especially work like this that's very visual. People see things, and there's nothing wrong at all. But when you see something, it's one thing to see it in like a spread out image, like that looks really cool, right? And and when it's smaller, it looks really good. When you take that and you wrap it around an image and you try to make it look as realistic as possible, the more realism, the better. The more depth the image has, the more everything the image has, the better it looks, in my opinion. But like we all say about our the client's right. So you got to at least give it a try. And hey, it could have worked out good. The example he gave me was interesting, but I think in what we're trying to do, I think we want to go with something more like this. Now I do have a night example, but that one, I tried that on it just by itself and it looked bad too. I think it looked worse than these two. I think these two actually look a little bit better than that one did. So in my opinion, I think, not they, the original. The original one looks better. The last one I used is a high def image. And I think, well, the look we're going for. All right, so I say we go back to the one we had. This one, I say we just clear you out. Go back to this. Oops, wrong thing. Where am I at? Oh. All right, and now this, and that. There we go. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, that's a bit better looking. I still like to do the whole dark side, light side thing. I think that would look cool, but that's going to take developing my own shader. There's a language referred to as something shader language. It's its own language. It's a shader language that basically allows you to write an application that determines how pixels are going to be mapped to a geometry. I haven't learned it yet. It's something I'm going to have to learn. Probably not, at least initially, for this project. But the idea is, so here you can see the sun over here. The idea is, as you're looking at the dark side of the world, what would happen here is you would see dark over here, and as it comes into the light, it would become light. Because it knows where the light is coming from. There's a good example I had. Trying to wonder if I can find that one. It might be in here. This might be it. This is kind of where I'm wanting to go. This guy wrote his own shader. If you watch here, but he does it differently. See, where I'm actually spinning the globe, what he does is he goes off of the rotation of the sun. So so the way the world works is that the way the Earth works is it spins around and it goes around the sun while it does that. So it's spinning and going around the sun, and so the globe itself is actually spinning. The Earth itself is actually spinning. He did this, but he did this in the way of actually making the sun. Now watch this. This is really interesting to watch. Here, I'll spin it around like this. You can see the sun. Now that's something I think is really, really cool that he did. But watch. You see how the sun spins around the globe? And so as it comes from behind it, but as you can see, there's dark world here, light world here. You can set it to auto rotate too, but I'm just trying to showcase it as fast as possible here. And so as you can see, dark, light. That's basically what I would like to accomplish, but I want to do it with the globe spinning instead of doing what he's doing here with the globe spinning. But still, it would be interesting to be able to actually see the sun, So that's kind of where I'm trying to aim at, to a point. But this thing's spinning like it is now, and of course, still allowing us, like with his, still allowing us to move it around and to see where it is and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that would be really cool. That's my ultimate goal for this thing, but it should have sent by now. Let's see, did it send? Yes, it sent. So I'll go ahead and close it now. We'll wait for his response. Empty those out. Okay, so what I want to try to work on now is I want to work on the idea of, when you click the globe, we will fire a click event, which we can do already. We're already sort of doing that here. Basically, what I've done here is I did my own click event, is what I did. Initially, I was going to, there is an on click in React 3 Fiber and in Three.js where you can actually detect a click on a piece of geometry. The problem with that is normally in most situations, click is mouse down, mouse up. in like web and things like that. So if you're on a piece of markup or something in a web page and you click down and then move your mouse out of the clickable area, then it won't fire a click event. The click event will not fire. It might fire, it'll fire a mouse down, it'll fire a mouse move, but it won't fire a click event because click is mouse down, mouse up without the mouse moving. On the geometry, when I started digging into trying to figure out how to detect clicks in the geometry, when we have to click down, at least in desktop, we have to click down to be able to move the mouse. But its on click event fired on mouse down, which meant that even though I clicked mouse down and moved, it would still fire an on click event. And there was no way. I tried to look to see if there was a way that I could detect something else happening, that I could say, oh, well, yes, it fired on click, but then this happened over here. And yeah, okay, fine. I could have detected a mouse move or something like that. But now you've got this competing events. And what happens if you click and don't move fast enough for the on move to cancel the on click? So instead, what I did is I said, so screw that. We're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to write our own click event. So this is our own click event. So we've got the mesh here. This is React 3 Fiber for anyone that's wondering. So this is basically what this is this is Three.js wrapped inside of a React wrapper. These items you see that are small cased here are done so. They're following React's own naming conventions and things of that nature, in that these are actual elements and things of that nature. That's how it looks at the actual React 3 or Three.js, the actual Three.js classes, is any of the classes that have pieces of markup for it, like group is an actual class in Three.js. They are small case named. So they're small case named because these are actual things that point to things actually in Three.js. So you can use class items within Three.js as actual pieces of markup, like you're actually just writing markup. That's what's really interesting about React 3 Fiber. And React 3 Fiber has a number of other pieces that come along for the ride as well. React 3 Fiber has the base piece, which you'll see right here, but you'll also see things like Dre, React 3 Dre. If you look here, hang on, I will go to, I think it's here. Yeah, Orbit Controls. Orbit Controls comes from React 3 Dre. Orbit Controls is this whole thing. This and this is Orbit Controls. So you can put limitations on how far out or in you can go, because if you don't put limitations, you can literally just scroll right past and it'll go, as far as you want to, as far away and as close as you want to. But I wanted to limit it to, here, and that's it. I don't want it to get too close, but I want it to be close enough that you can see, decent detail and all that kind of stuff. So that's the idea, at least. But that's what we have over here. This thing's throwing an error because of this right here. It isn't used. I've left it in. I'll probably just go ahead and take it out so that we can at least stop seeing the error. It'll still let it run. It's an error only in TypeScript. It's not an error in the sense of an actual like programming error. There we go. Now we won't see that little red error. But yes, so basically what I had to do is I had to write my own on-click event. So the on-click event is mouse down, mouse doesn't move, and mouse goes up. Mouse down, doesn't move, goes up. So you'll go click, click, like that. Then it will fire on click. Is click is just if I'm right, it's a Boolean. It should be. It's assigned a Boolean here. So when you click down, so that's the way we handle it. Basically, but we're playing with it right now. This isn't fully developed yet, but yeah, because after is click happens, what we would need to do is fire an on click event. And let's see here, globe geometry. We would have to do some other things. Am I using any of this? Other than passing it to the mesh, am I actually using it though? When I use the globe geometry, what do I do? I use it for positioning only. Basically here, what this does, for anyone that's still curious and watching, 3 elements here allows you to pass a number of different types of element. In this case, our globe is a mesh. It's a mesh of a piece of geometry. This actually is not a sphere. Instead, it's a little bit more oddly shaped, but you can give it enough pieces of items here. As you see, the args are 1 and 12. That's radius and detail. So yeah, how much detail there is, and as you see, 12 isn't that bad, and it does look round. So it makes it look round, and in this case, you have less pieces of geometry being used to create the overall sphere look. If you look at it in a mesh view, yeah, I'd have to get into this and actually like turn the mesh on to where you see the wireframe. If you looked at the wireframe though, there's a lot of pieces there, but overall it's probably a lot less pieces than doing something like a sphere or doing something else. So that's always the idea whenever you're doing anything with 3D. You've always got to think about technically how many polygons is what it is, or triangles as they'll say, are used to create that look. So the more you use, the smoother it looks, the more, I guess, realistic it looks. But in the same sense, the more you use, the more memory it takes up, the more it takes up from your GPU. Right. The more of everything it costs to make it work. So you want to have the smallest amount of triangles that you have to make it look as realistic as possible. And so that's why we're using this. And we're using this particular mesh material here. It's a texture map, basically. So this has a couple different map types you can pass to it. The bump map here is basically here. It's easier to show than it is to talk about. There we go. So this defines sort of in a black and white sense where the rises and falls in the land are. As you can see over here, this is since I'm from the States originally, I know what this is. This is the Rocky Mountain Range over in this area. Where you see this right here is about where Colorado is, and you've got a number of mountain ranges out in the western part of the United States there, and that's what this is. This is more likely the Andes here in South America. As you can see, there really isn't much. Australia's over here, but you can't really tell because there's not that many. There's not that many mountains. Extremely mountainous regions. It's not that we don't have mountains here. It's just, as I heard one Australian one time say, we don't really have mountains. We have peaks. That's a good way of saying that, I guess. So yes. So these are the rises and falls in the land, and different rises in elevation and things of that nature that can be recorded. And so when it's mapped to an actual sphere and things like that, it gives it sort of a realistic bumpy. As you can see, it kind of looks bumpy here. You can kind of see the rockiness and kind of the gradation of it right there, and that's kind of the idea. At least that's the idea of what we're looking for. What we're looking for is rises and falls in the land. Just like here in the Andes, you can see it kind of looks bumpy and all that. That's the idea. That's the idea of having a bump map and doing things like that. So what we want to get to though is we'd like to get to a place where I can, let's see if anyone's here, if anyone's asking any questions. Oh, up to streaming. Okay. I did resolve the circle ring, Bob, by the way, if you're still watching. I did post it, by the way, too. I posted on my profile what the solution was. The funny thing is the solution came up to something I tried before and didn't work before. So I really have no idea why it worked this time, but I'm not going to argue with it. It worked. I deployed it at work, and tested it out, and it seemed to work just fine. I wish this thing had the ability to say, don't mirror my screen. I know OBS has the ability to say, don't mirror your screen, and it knows when it's on itself. Oh, because I'm sharing. I don't know why it said 2 there. Yeah, so basically, yeah, it did work. It did work. I finally got it working, and I even posted a video of it as well. Let's see. So yeah, back to working on the 3D interactive client. Oh, so the reason what I'm doing today is I'm working on my 3D interactive client, and that's because I didn't work on them over the weekend because I spent my time working on my full-time client. So talked to them yesterday. They were okay with me taking the day and working on this instead. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. What can we do now? Here's the next thing I've been looking at, trying to find good continent models, because I'm not that great at using something like Blender, and even if I was, I don't have a ton of time to sit there and hand draw the different continents. So I was trying to find 3D continents of the world here and see if I can find a couple of them. But as you can see, yeah, they have them. Look at that price. Holy crap. The thing is, for that price, I doubt that it breaks out the countries, because that's what I need. I don't just need the continent. I need the countries within the continent as well. Let's see here. It has 3D Max, OBJ. I don't know which one is OBJ or FBX. These are different 3D modeling application types. I don't really need a continent of Antarctica. As you can see, yeah, they've got them, but they're not cheap. I mean, they want 150 for Australia alone, and this doesn't even divide the states out. I mean, there's that one would be easy. That one's Tasmania, but then we've got Victoria, and then we've got New South Wales, and then we've got Queensland that runs all the way up here. And we got the Northern Territory, South Australia, and all of this here is Western Australia. But imagine one of the U.S. trying to divide up. Well, actually, no. In the state, it would be North America, and it would only be 3 divisions in that case: Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. But still, there's none of these have divisions, and that's what I've been trying to look for. I've been trying to look for 3D models of the continents of the world, but with their country divisions in them. Because what needs to happen next? So here we've got this. Oops, sorry. Here we've got this. So basically, when we click on this, what's supposed to happen then is the camera would then go down and would allow, that's at least the way I'm thinking about it. What happens is the camera's going to move its position. It's going to position downward. It's going to look down, and it's going to bring up kind of a carousel. The way I'm seeing it, at least, maybe we go simpler at first. Maybe we start with images and then we build up to that. But the idea is, at least for now, the camera would span down, so it'd look downward from here, basically, and it would then show all the particular continents that you could look at. Of course, it's going to be positioned to where it looks like you're looking right at it. And my idea would be that you could spin it. So basically, you take it, you can drag it across, and it'll actually move with your hand. I'd like to see it work that way. We may not be able to get that in a short amount of time. We might have to move to just sticking to images of the continents. But see, even then, we've got to have some way of doing selection. That's where I was hoping to go with the whole SVG concept. So what I was hoping to do is I was hoping that I could take this map that I have here, because it's a really nice one. It's really, really good quality and really good detail, and slice it off. For example, that right there is where I think Mexico technically ends. So that to up here in Canada and around would then be a clickable portion where you clicked North America. So then it would bring up a selection item for North America. I'm going to have to see how to transition out of where I am and transition into something else. Like I said, these are just ideas that I've been throwing around, the 3D continent concept. But see, I said continent countries, so I want it. Maybe I need to say this a little differently. 3D models of the world, continents with, how do we say this, with country divisions. See, I've seen some simple ones, and some of these, I'm not sure. I don't think that, just from looking at that, I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Oh, $100. Holy crap. Yeah, fine. Huh. Well, that's interesting. It does divide up the countries, but not in the way that I was thinking. It's quite literally dividing them up. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's neat. So, yeah, New Zealand and Australia. For those that don't know, that over here, I'm guessing, yeah, it's going to be um, Hawaii. There you go. Which is technically part of the United States. So, but yeah, we've got a number of different countries here. Can I zoom in? Does it have a zoom in? No, not full screen. Oh, VR. That's interesting. Let's see if I can. Oh, I can. All right. Look at that. That's interesting. But I can't move like in the way of. Nope. You can't. You can't point it at somewhere and then say move into this section. So I can't go over there and have it move over into the U.S. It's just going to zoom in from wherever it is. Yeah, it's a little bit not really what I'm looking for. $100 isn't bad, but still, that's 100 U.S. dollars. I'm guessing as well, which I'm not using U.S. dollars. But I need it formed as a single continent with the individual division. So obviously, this is all of Africa up into here because that's Spain and Portugal. I can tell. On around here is all of the different countries of Africa. Obviously, what's it called? Russia. Russia here, China, Japan, India. I can tell India. Yeah. No, not what I want to look for. Yeah, that's the one part that's been kind of bugging me is where do I find the continents? I was hoping the guy who wanted me to do this had some of the images he already wanted to use, but he didn't. So it's up to me to try and find. I did have someone look for some continents and sent them to him, but he didn't like them. And I kind of agreed. I didn't really like them myself. So he threw me a couple of images to try out there. Those of you that join now probably have missed that. Yeah, it's better. But huh. I doubt this would do what I want it to do. It does look interesting, I'll say that much about it, but most of these are 3D models in the way of character models. Okay. Okay, we've got some books and I don't know. I haven't been very impressed with a lot of these image generation things. They seem to take way too many liberties and not follow what you want enough, in my opinion. I've tried doing this in the past and have not really been all that impressed. You got to only be willing to give a little bit of liberty to it to get what you. It's not really what you want, and at that point now, is it? But yeah, it's interesting. It's worth a thought. I don't think I'll do it here. While at least I'm on the stream. I might try that later, though. For now, here, while we're on the stream, here's what I think I will do. What I will do is this. I'm going to create a secondary geometry and try pointing the camera at it. See if I can do an on-click, because I have the on-click here. I need to modify the geometry. I did get globe props, did I not? I did. Okay. So we'll, at least for now, we'll kill light direction. We'll keep position, because position is the only thing we're actually using right here. Although, what is this in position? It's vector 3. It is vector 3, but the vector 3 type it is. There's two different vector 3 types. There's the React 3 Fiber vector 3, which is vector-like 3 vector 3. And then there's vector 3, which is just from Three.js. So what I want to do is, hang on here, go back at React 3, at React 3 Fiber vector 3. That kind of vector 3 is what I want. Yeah, that's the one I want. Now, the reason I want this over using the other vector 3 is this allows me to do this right here, to define it like this. If I used Three.js's vector 3, what I would have to do is I would have to define the actual vector as a vector 3 object out here and then pass it in. Pass it in that way. So pass the variable reference into position instead of just being able to do the shorthand of this right here, which is XYZ coordinates, which basically 0, 0, 0 is right in the center of the world space. Make sure no one's asking too many questions. Okay. So that's what we're going to try to do, is we'll stick with that. And then I need an on-click. That's why I did this, yes. So what am I going to fire from on-click, though? It's a pointer event. Oh, I'll just fire the pointer event, yes. So I'll fire the entire three event pointer event, which is from React 3 Fiber. So pointer event is just the basic pointer event anyways. Yes, it's a pointer event, but it's a pointer event from a geometry event. I believe this pointer event here, if I'm right, comes from the canvas component. So it's the canvas component's pointer event, I think, is what's being wrapped here. So we will go ahead and define an on-click, and we'll have the event be a 3 event. Which does that come from? It does, good. Okay, so 3 event pointer event. So basically here, we'll just pretty much copy and paste this. The evil copy and paste. On click. There we go, like that. So now we have that. So now we have the position, and then we have the on click. Okay, so now we can take this out. So instead of this, we have it as, what did I call it? Globe props. Globe props. That should still allow me to do this. It should still work over here. Good. So this still considers it, see, now it's globe props, but it still allows me to do the shorthand. So that's good. That's what we wanted. And now in on click, now instead of props, what we do is, what did we call that? Position. So we just do this instead. So we say position, and then we say, what did I say there? On click. On click. Okay, so this should be throwing an error for not having position. Here, we don't need that. We just need to say position. Position is position. There we go. Perfect. And then what we could do is this. We'd say this. Since we're doing it already, we might as well just do it that way. And then just say, there we go. Just like that. I'll leave this here because I was testing with this. So I'll leave it here to remind myself of trying to test the individual click items. Now what we should be able to do is we should be able to hook up to the on click and at least fire it out what we've got. So let's see here. Let's go const globe clicked is equal to, no, what was it again? It was 3 event. Pointer event. Brain's not fully firing right now. Okay, let's see here. So now we say on click, globe clicked, boom. Now what we should be able to do is we should be able to say console.log globe clicked event. Here, I will go back over here. We'll keep this here just because I want to remember what I was trying to do, but I don't want to do that. Now what we should be able to do is we should be able to restart. Let's see. Nope. Okay, so we will pop this up. There's our console. And there we go. So yay. Yay. So we've got that we actually had a click. So it does now if you watch, okay, so we have the globe clicked. If we click and move, we shouldn't get another globe clicked in here. So there we go. It only works if we actually down and up. We click down and up. Click and move doesn't do it. But clicking like that does. So that's the point. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to where we can click and recognize it's an actual click on the model. So we still have to determine where we clicked in. Like I said earlier, unfortunately, SVGs didn't work out the way I would hope they would. I did know we might run into this problem because SVGs themselves, even though they can have colors, they're not, I've never really seen one used as like a full-fledged color model. Usually SVGs are used for graphics on web pages and things of that nature. I've done a whole SVG thing. If anyone doesn't know how SVGs work, I've done a thing on SVGs back when I was doing the HTML streams. So if you active HTML streams, there's one on SVGs that defines how SVGs work and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. So we got that. Now here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just create a secondary geometry to try and point at, because basically, directional light, ambient light, orbit controls. There is a way. Well, let's see here. I know there's a way I can define the camera. The camera, here's another thing that comes along for the ride as part of using React 3 Fiber. In Three.js, you have to set up all the different pieces of your scene. When you use React 3 Fiber, it basically puts a lot of defaults in there. Obviously, you need, a scene, you need a camera, you need lights. So those are the three main things. It lets you define the geometries, but it gives you those out of the box. And the camera is usually pulled back a -5 on the z-index so that it's pointing at 0, 0, 0, basically the main point of the world, if you will. So that's what React 3 Fiber does for you. It lets you pull, it sets it here. If you want to do something with the camera other than what the camera would other than the most default and basic, you have to define your own camera. When you define your own camera, then that camera will be the new camera and it will override the defaults, which is what I'm probably going to have to end up doing here. I'm probably going to have to define my own camera and have it point there, because then what you can do is you can tell the camera to point at a particular area. So that's what I would need to do. When onClick is fired, so when this item here is fired, then basically I need to say, okay, the globe has been clicked, so we need to move to the secondary part of this thing, and we need to move to the part where we can look at the different continents. Whatever that may be, currently, like I said, the current idea is to have 3D continent models and have them there displayed in some form of grouping, and whichever continent you clicked on the globe, that would be the one that would be the default one that is shown. Like I said, what I'd like to do is be able to actually drag it to the next one, drag it to the next one. And this would work the same on desktop and mobile. On the desktop, you would just go, just drag with your finger across and just drag it across until you get to the, if maybe you clicked the wrong continent for whatever reason, or if you changed your mind or whatever. I seriously doubt you changed your mind, since this is kind of a selection process to get into a place for your particular country and to communicate with people in your area. That's the whole concept of this selection process. It's really quite simple, but he wanted something really nice and really not just responsive, but visually appealing, something that people come in and they go, oh man, that's cool. That's I'm wondering if I still have the original idea. This if I can find it, this is a little bit more than I wanted to go. No, I don't have that. Too bad. That is too bad, because he sent it at one point. I could probably go digging for it and find it, but I don't think it's really worth doing. But yeah, the thing he had as an example was really nice, and I told him that's what he used as an example was not something I was going to be able to get done in a short amount of time. So we're trying to keep this basic, but let's go ahead and just for the time being, let's just create see here, the globe geometry is there. So, and then, then there's the next thing. World coordinate systems. That's what I have to remember, because this is XYZ. If I'm right in Three.js, XYZ, Z is the up and down. You'd be surprised how those are different. I think in Blender, Z is back and forth. X is left and right. Y is up and down. But I think in Three.js, Z is up and down. There's a real quick way to find out. Here. That's Z. Let's see what happens. I think I was right. I can't really move the. Oh, that's different. Holy crap, that's kind of cool. Wow. So that like made it orbit around. Did you? I'm hoping everyone stayed and watched that. That was really kind of cool. It's gonna probably come back around again. That was actually really quite interesting, because it's just basically sitting there and spinning it along an axis. Yeah. In this case, we just sort of changed the axis of where it was. So no, that wasn't it. I thought it would point it down. I thought that would be down. So Z isn't down. Z is. Oh, that's a good question. Huh. Okay, that changed my mind about that. Huh. Well, the spinning is done within the globe geometry itself. That's done. At least I think it is. Yes. The rotation is along the y-axis. Huh. That's interesting. So I changed the z position and the rotation of the y. I must change the. That was the globe geometry, yeah. Huh. Okay. Interesting. It was cool looking. I just wish I could explain right now why that did that. I'd have to sit here and think about it in the way of geometries. Huh. I'm looking puzzled because I'm not sure if everyone else notices this or not, but the stars have disappeared. Here's the star field right here, but it's now gone. Interesting. Okay, let's see where that happened. Is it the on? Oh, here. Well, it's gonna throw a fit if I do that. So here. I don't want the stars to be gone. I do like the stars. They're nice. Yeah, I don't see them. They're gone. I'm almost wondering if it had to do with the removal of the. I can't see how that would do it, but with the removal of the props that I was passing into here. Now this has its own props. Interesting. What I could do. Let's see here. What was this before? This was 3 elements mesh. So what we could do is this. Let's try this out. Okay, let's see if we can get this fixed. I don't think this should be causing this, but you never know. Those of you that don't know and haven't heard me say before, I'm using the IDE I'm using here is it's WebStorm, but it's from JetBrains. And any of the features you find really interesting. What's its problem here? An interface can only extend an identifier qualified name with an option with optional type arguments. Hang on, it doesn't know of 3 elements. I'm pretty right about that. Hang on. trying this here to see if I can, because sometimes you can set types. And it probably isn't going to work because it's probably just going to say it's a type, and I can't do that. And now it's going to throw a different error. Let's see what the error is now. Incorrectly extends mesh props. Globe props incorrectly extends mesh props. Types of on click. Fine. It has basically the error I'm getting here, in case anyone's wondering, is it's saying this is mine that I'm defining as on click, but it has an on click named this. So what we will say is, there we go. That defines just that. So now we just need to change this. So we'll put on globe click. There. That's a bit better. Then we go over here. Now this is going to be throwing an error. Oh, okay, no, it's not. Let's see though. Let's see if that fixed the error that we're having. I can't believe that was it. I can't believe that was the problem. Anyone that's ever wanted to see debugging when you don't know what you're doing, this was a really good example of it. This is what happens all the time with me. When I figure things out, and people sometimes, not everyone does this, but sometimes when I figure things out that no one else figured out, and they're like, "How did you figure it out?" It's not that I'm a genius. I just tried and tried and tried stuff until I got the right thing. It's the only thing that made sense though, because before it was using the mesh properties and all that kind of stuff, and it was only after I changed that and only included its own internal properties that it did that. Now here's the weird thing though. Here's the strange thing. If you look at this, go back to this. I didn't change. I'm not spreading the props out like I was before. I'm still breaking, the position out of the globe props. And I just changed this to on globe clicked. So basically, hang on, why do I need this? I think I did use it for something, didn't I? Did I? Oh, yeah, there they are. Group ref, globe ref. What was I using those for? There was a reason. I think I was trying to. I think that was going to have something to do with trying to apply like an actual what's one texture, something about applying the texture and doing the light and dark and all that kind of stuff, having the actual reference to the group ref itself. Yeah, that's right. I was looking into something that did something like that, grabbed a reference and all of those kinds of things. Let me check over here. Ooh, wow. It is on YouTube, actually. It's on YouTube right now. This is going to all the streams right now. So, hey, Adon, how's it going? Glad you like it. Yeah, like I said, I wish this thing didn't have the whole mirrored effect when I came over here to look at what's going on, but we'll just deal with it. We'll have to deal with it. But yeah, it's a lot easier than trying to share screen. I'm it'd take forever to jump between stuff. That's a feature. It's a bug, not a feature. That's a good one. Okay, let's get back to this. So yeah, that's really strange. So removing the actual mesh props killed the stars. Why is that? I'm one of those people. I'd really like to know the answers to things. It makes me wonder. Oh, I don't know if anyone can hear that, but it sounds like we're going to get some rain here for long. It's been getting darker. So, yeah, versus colors loader. I don't see anything here that points to anything that would be tied to the globe not loading the mesh properties. And like I said, it doesn't even load the mesh properties. It needs it extending from there, even though it's only using them. That's awfully strange. One of the strangest things I've seen. Actually, this could probably be done now that I've learned some things about React 3 Fiber. I wouldn't do it this way anymore. In case you're wondering, I do it this way. React 3 Fiber has a hook called Use Texture, and you can actually just you can import the different inputs of textures. You can even have a particular on load that can fire. I don't remember what that's used for. I did see an example of what that's used for, but it's for more advanced things. If you just want to load textures into variables, then it's that easy. Use texture. You just deconstruct the array here into the number of items that you have, and there you go. Map, specular map, bump map. And then just apply them in here. I named them the same as the names of their properties to make it easy. I'm wondering if I turn up the bump scale a little bit, how that would look. I wonder if I gave it a little bit more of a bump, if it would look a little bit grainier. There we go. Huh. It did it again. It does look grainier, but once again, did you notice what happened there? Stars went away. So I changed the bump map from 0.04 to 0.06, and the stars went away. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, nothing about that makes sense. Huh. Man, that's strange. I mean, what I did only affects the globe. The change I was making affects only this geometry right here. That's what we were working in. Yet, even though it made it grainier and it made it bumpier, which is cool, it made the land look, in my opinion, I think I'd like to stick with that, because right here you could see it. You could really see kind of the texture coming out of it, which is cool. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do, but it made the stars go away. Why? I can't see that would have anything to do with it. What would cause that? Huh. That's really strange. I'll have to look into that some more. It's not a big deal yet. That's finishing touch. I'm complaining about finishing touch things when we're not even to the point where we need to be. So yeah, I'm complaining about finishing touches and we're not even close. Like I said, let's try to move to another geometry. Let's try to create a simple geometry. For now, I'll just create like a box geometry or something here. Let's just say, what would you call it? Hang on, carousel. Oh boy. Oh, you guys are going to see something. Right now, my brain. Okay, I'm going to tell a story real quick so it doesn't even look that stupid. This morning I had to get my blood drawn, and I got a new girl, and she was really nice. She was really nice about the whole thing, but I think it was her first time drawing blood, and she's like, "Okay, you're going to feel a prick," and I didn't feel anything. And then she turns over to the lady that was helping her. She goes, "Nothing's coming out." and she hadn't actually hit the vein yet. And so the lady goes, ah, and twists around until she finds my vein. And oh man, you want to talk? It made me nauseous having that thing twist around inside me like that. I've had a headache the whole day because of it. I was like, oh my gosh. So right now my brain is just, it's a little fuzzy when it comes to things like, spelling the word carousel. Carousel. There it is. Carousel. Uh, that's what I need. Okay, that's what we'll call it. For right. Oh, that's not. I didn't want that. Rename. I didn't want to. There we go. Oh. So the basic of the carousel geometry, what I'll do right now is I will call it a carousel geometry because eventually we'll probably make it an actual geometry. But for now, all it's going to be is just a really simple box. It's just going to be something else to point at. So click, point. That's going to be the goal, at least for, if I can do that today, if I can get that working today and find some decent 3D geometries for the continents, then I think I've made some major progress on this, which is what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to make some major progress. The main reason I'm wanting to make major progress is once I get this done, I'm going to start then working on my own stuff because I really want to make this something that is dang you. I really want to make this something that I do as my full-time thing. I've still got my full-time client, and then they're going to be there, at least it seems they're going to be there for some time. But as we all know, nothing's forever, and things eventually do come to an end. And I'd like to be ready when that happens. I don't want to have to just jump to something else. I'd like to be ready with something already there that I'm doing. So that's my next thing. So once I get this done, the next thing is actually working on that. That's weird. That's a Starfield function, but it doesn't look like I used it. No, I just sort of reused what was done. Sorry, I'm still on the whole why did the Starfield disappear thing. I still don't have a clue why the Starfield disappeared. I'd like to know that. Here, let's go to the globe geometry and we'll kind of just copy what we've got from there. It's still a mesh, basically. We'll stick with our same concept, though, of having the props. So let's go. This time we do want just the TypeScript file. So we will say carousel.props, and you'll notice that I use a naming convention. This is a naming convention that I saw used a number of years ago. The idea behind it being that you can look that, if this just says globe and this just says, well, maybe globe props would be enough to make sense. But let's say we didn't just have just two files over here, just these two. But what if we had a lot more items in here? It might be hard to know just at first glance what the different files are. That's why I use the same naming: globe geometry, globe props, carousel geometry, carousel props. Sorry. So I can look at first glance and see almost instantaneously what I'm looking at. Oh, these are the props for the geometry. So this is the geometry, and I know that the geometry is a piece of actual 3D geometry that can be used. And these are the props we're going to be defining for said geometry. Which then makes me wonder, maybe now I'm thinking about the thing where I changed the Z index to 10 and it went around like this. Makes me kind of wonder about that. We'll have to play with it and figure it out. We'll have to just sort of play around and see how this works. let's go to the globe. We're going to make this simple. We're going to keep this about as simple as the globe itself is. No texture map. We're just going to, here, let's see if anyone said anything, asked any questions. Boop, 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 boop. So, yeah. So let's move on here. We need to just do probably the same thing, just break out position. Let's see here. Let's go props. So the globe props first. Globe props are over here. So just do like this. So say base carousel props. Type base carousel props is equal to, what is it? 3 elements. 3 elements. It's still going to be a mesh. It's just going to be a lot simpler mesh than our other one is. At least for the time being. I might actually end up making it like a sphere or something that everything else is around, so it looks like it's coming off of it in the end. I'd like to do something like that. You know, it points down to there. Although if it points down, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I have to actually physically move the camera too. Maybe instead of just pointing the camera down to it, maybe what I need to do is actually move the camera down to it, and so it's just kind of going, moving down into another part of the world down below, and allowing, you know, that to happen. Orbit controls, though, might stop me. I might have to turn them off in that case. Orbit controls might have to be turned on only when we're in the first section, and then eventually get removed once we're in the next section. We'll see. We're not even there yet, but it's just ramblings, my own internal ramblings. Export interface, carousel props, extend. And for now, that's all we need. We don't really need an on-click. That should be enough to do that. Because all we're going to do to the carousel is just have positions. So now we do, and this is my favorite way to define components in React. It's just a personal preference, in case anyone's wondering. I don't know why I like it. I like this way of defining components. To me, it feels cleaner. That's what it comes down to me. To me, it feels cleaner. And I always do named exports. You'll see a lot of people do their exports like this. Like that, exactly, like that. There are positives to this. Basically, what it means when you do a default export, I don't have to call this carousel geometry. But I'm very anal retentive about things. I don't like, as the developer, I like to be the one who is deciding how my stuff is used, and allowing others to make that decision that I can do that just works against some, being a software developer in my opinion. So I like actually, giving them the name they're supposed to use, because then it can get kind of confusing. As you begin to use it, you could call it something different, and now you got this over here, and then you could name this, and this, and you could think they're different things, but they've actually switched because you've named them differently. And the purpose to me of naming is to define the name that is going to be used as. And so that's when I use named exports. Hang on a second. Cheesy, get in here, Cheese. My 15-year-old dog is laying out in the rain. Cheese, come on, guy, get in here. No, Buck, you stay here too. Come on, Cheese. Cheese, get in here, you silly mutt. He goes out to sleep, and he sleeps in the rain. Yes, get on your bed. Hurry, for Buck gets back. No, it's okay. Jeez. It's okay. He gets freaked out real easily too. There you go. It's okay. It's okay. All right. All right. I don't want him laying out in the rain. He's an old dog. He doesn't need to get sick. It's not raining that hard, but it looks like it's about to. Uh, okay, carousel geometry. Let's see here. I don't think we really need anything all that complex. We don't even need a group. What we do need is we just need to do return. Let's just try to make the most basic of things. Box geometry. Huh. That's different. There is no position. Huh. That's a good question. Let's see what we got here. All right. I'll go for a little bit longer here, probably for another 10 or 15 minutes. I don't want to run this on too long. It's not super exciting, but I think it's pretty cool to watch 3D worlds being created. But that's just me. It's because I'm doing it. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, using React 3 Fiber, you still need to use Three.js's documentation. React 3 Fiber itself doesn't really provide much for documentation, and the main reason for that is that it's pretty much a one-for-one wrapper around Three.js. It's pretty much a React wrapper around Three.js. So if the capabilities are there in Three.js, they're in React 3 Fiber. So that's kind of an FYI. If you go to use React 3 Fiber trees, don't go out there, you silly dog. He's going to have to lay in the grass in the rain again. Oh my gosh. Three.js box geometry. Let's just take a look. Box geometry. Setting position. There we go. Position vector. Oh, of course there is. There is a position vector. Let's see here. And I position it in the world, though. In the no, I don't care about merging them into a single mesh. I just want to position a single box geometry. And it probably still is a mesh. Actually, it probably still is a mesh. That's probably where I'm going wrong here. I think I am. I think what I'm doing is I'm going wrong here. I think what I need to do is this still needs to be similar to this. And this needs to be it, and then we need to wrap it in there. So yeah, I think that's where I've gone wrong here. We don't need a group because we're not going to have multiples. Actually, technically, we could take this group out of here too. The reason for having this group in here with only a single mesh inside of it was because initially we were going to have multiple meshes. We were going to have meshes that then were used for texturing and meshes that were used for actual geometry. That was the initial idea because I'd found an example that did something like that. So I said, oh, I need to group them together and then do this and this. I left the group. I may end up needing it, so I've gone ahead and just left it the way it is because once I get to the point of doing shaders and things like that, maybe it'll change. So I've just sort of left it. But yeah, we don't need the group. All we really need is a mesh. So we need to put a mesh around it. Mesh can be positioned like this. And then we go boom, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom. There's a way to set the mesh color. I think it's basic material, basic. Yeah, mesh basic material. Color. Here we go. Color. Sure. That isn't it, is it? Yeah, sure. Sure. This thing can autocomplete, can't it? It's a color, so. Here, let's look at this. Let's see. React 3. No, we said Three.js, didn't we? Three.js basic mesh. It's basic mesh, right? Mesh basic material. Okay, so JS mesh basic material color. Mesh standard material might be the way to do that, not mesh basic material. But let's take a look at this just in case. Maybe it does need to be, in this case, React 3 Fiber examples. Maybe I need a React 3 Fiber. So React 3 Fiber mesh basic material color. That was material color. Hang on. This might be an example. Color is args. Okay, so you'd say mesh basic material and then pass it a color. Okay, guy. Well, that's what it's saying. Why not? Hey, stop it. Go. Crazy dog. Great. I'm gonna have to be right back. Come on. Come on. Let's calm it down. He is a pit bull after all. Let's see here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. They're gone. They're gone. Hey. Jeez, watch out. They're gone. Yeah. Yeah, you did your job. Good boy. Go on. Let's see here. No, I know there's a way to do it in. That's why it's one of the things about React 3 Fiber that is nice is you can set things differently. You don't have to create these Three.js objects. You just say something like that. But let's see what the answer is. The answer is I don't want a gradient texture. I just want a color. Sphere geometry. Okay, you do the mesh geometry, and then you can do the material internally. Okay, so maybe it's more like that. But this, yeah, this should work. What is this? It's a color. What is the color? So one would think you could define it like that. Let's try that. Let's try defining it in that way. Okay, that seems to at least sort of work. We've got carousel geometry, then we can pass a position to. Okay, now, if I can get this to display, then I might just end the stream with that. Let's try this now. Let's go ahead and do carousel geometry. But let's set position to 2, 2, 2. No matter what it is, it shouldn't really be that far off from there. We should be able to see something, I hope. That's the idea, at least. Let's see. And it should be green. We're not rotating it, so it should just kind of sit there. There it is. Haha. All right. So that sort of makes sense. Now, if we wanted to move it down, okay, so let's, if it's 0, 0, 0, it'll sit right here. It'll be right in the center. So that's not what we want. What we want is we want it to be below. We want it to be down here. As you can see, it's very simple, but that's like I said, that's the idea. The idea is click, focus. And let's just see if we can get that working. That'd be great. But it'd need to be off the screen. Well, 2, 2, 2 doesn't help me. Here, let's do this. This will help. This will help figure out the coordinate system, I think. So we know where 2, 2, 2 is. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So XYZ is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the y stayed on 2, so that's the up. Y is the up and down then. So if we go y 0, we should see it still where it is, but down. That's what I'm thinking, at least. It should be, well, we'll see. My thought is about right here. Yeah, I was right. Okay, perfect. Okay, so y is up and down. So we could do the other two at 0 and y at -3 just for starters. Let's try that. Okay, so let's make this -3, this 0, and this 0. So now we got the coordinate system. So the coordinate system is more along the lines of like Blender's coordinate system. Z moves this direction, X this direction, Y this direction. Okay, so it follows that coordinate system. Because some of them don't. Some of them follow different coordinate systems and all of that. Yep, that did it. So that put it down. It's not great looking, but we're looking at it at an angle. Well, actually, we're looking straight on, but it's sitting at an angle. And also, it's only green. There's really no definitive texture around it, so it's very difficult to see. When you're looking straight at it, it doesn't look like a box because basically there's no line coming across here. You can see it if you look. If you look right here, it ends, and then you can see it straightening. That's the line right there, but you just don't see the line because it's all green. There's no real definition. There's nothing defining that line where you can actually see it defined. If I took the world and I wrapped it around there, you would see it. You'd see where it kind of split. It kind of go like this. You'd see it split. So that's good though. That's putting it where it is. And if I did 10, it would be so far, it'd be out of the screen, which is what I'm hoping to do. And then when the world is clicked, when the globe is clicked, then I'll try to get it to focus. Now, I think orbit controls might have a way to do that in it, because we got here we set max distance, min distance. This is what I was talking about, how it defines how much you can scroll, how much you can zoom in and out. So I kept it to a bare minimum, but I think you can do, there's like a focus property or something. There is a position property, like a point at position, not position, just pointer. Let's see here. We can do even rotation of that. Attach, auto rotate, children, connect. What's connect? Oh, when it connects to the DOM element. Okay, so I'm guessing it's the canvas element. We're not. No, that's the canvas element, probably DOM element. Although that connect might have been when the DOM element gets connected. Enabled. There's a good amount of things in here. So, not quite sure what to use. There are a lot of event method type things there. Pan speed, quanturon. Has to do with. I'm trying to remember what quanturon is. It has something to do with the geometry and I think rotation and things like that. No, I could. Oh, target. Here we go. Target. Maybe target would be it. Yeah, maybe target would be it. React 3 fiber, vector 3. It's a vector 3 for React 3 fiber. So you could probably take the position of the geometry and use that as the target and see if it, because then it would try to zoom in and out on that. Let's give it a try. Oh, well, wait a minute. We'd have to be able to reset the target. So yeah, like I said, if I got that on displaying on the page, I said I did in the stream. So I think that's a good stopping point. What I'm probably going to do is get it to go lower and try to find a way, because as you see, when you zoom in here, you can't see it. So when I would click, you would expect it to go downward like that. Let's stop screen sharing here. Boop. All right. Yeah. So that was longer than I thought it would be. I thought I'd probably do like last time, stick it to about an hour. But yeah, you can get lost in this thing really quick and just have it eat up a lot of time. It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play around with. I mean, it takes a lot of playing, a lot of trial and error. Look at me, I'm sweaty. I can feel it too. Whew. We are getting to the point of the time of year here where it's getting hot. It's raining and yet it's still hot. It's finally, some cool air is finally coming in here. But yeah, I appreciate anyone who stayed to the end. If anyone stayed to the end, yeah, tomorrow is the live stream. Tomorrow will be what was it again? Media queries, in-depth media queries. So I'm going to be doing that later on. I actually found something interesting that I said I was going to present on in the media queries, but unfortunately that part is not yet available in browsers. Even though there's articles out there written about it and how it's going to work and all of this stuff, no browsers picked it up. So unfortunately, I won't be able to show that, but I will be able to talk about it because I've read the spec. So interesting stuff for tomorrow. Hopefully everyone sees it. Everyone has fun.